In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Adobe Camera Raw's profile presets to add a color tint to your image. You can download this specific image for free at the link below in the description, or use one of your own images to work along. So I'm going to show you how to take this image and make it look like this, or this. What's the question? Are you ready? It's Photoshop time, and you know the drill. Smack it, whack it, and crack-a-lack it.
Yes! That's awesome! What?
So once you have this image or your own image opened in Photoshop, if you're like mine, you basically have just a flat background locked layer. So we want to convert this to a smart object so that we're not doing anything destructive. The way to do that is come up to Filter, Convert for Smart Filters. That's going to convert your image to an editable smart object. Just click OK, and you see this little icon that indicates we have in fact converted this to a smart object. Now go to Filter, down to Camera Raw Filter. It's going to open up the Adobe Camera Raw adjustment box. So right away, you see the word profile. And you're like, okay, that's where we need to start. And you toggle it down and then you only have a choice of color or monochrome. Then you see browse. Instead of having to click and dial down, you can actually click this icon, which is the same exact thing, browse profiles. It just saves you a click. So I'm going to click that. You have favorites that you can save. You have basics, and then you have these artistic ones, and you don't have to do anything but just hover over them. I'll go down to black and white. If you want to see what their black and white conversion presets look like, you see how you can just quickly drag your mouse over for a lot of different looks. Here's modern. And my favorite area is vintage. So once you pick one that you like, click it and click OK. The effect is automatically applied and you're back in Photoshop. Now remember I said this is forever editable. Notice how with a smart object, the smart filters are loaded indented below the actual image. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to double click on the Camera Raw filter word to go back to Adobe Camera Raw. If you want to come back and browse the presets and say, you know, I think I wanted more of a blue tint, you can always edit it. Now, what if you're like, well, actually, I wanted to tint a black and white image. So you think, well, let me go up to this back button, go back to the basic editing panel, and right up at the top, I'll just choose black and white. And then I'll go choose browse profiles. But you notice how it automatically got rid of them. So all you're left with are the black and white ones, none of the colors. Let me show you a quick workaround. Uncheck that black and white. Then in that basic editing panel, just come down to saturation and drag the saturation slider all the way down. Now the image is in RGB mode still, which will allow you to come back up to the browse profiles and have access to a different version of those color profiles. Like here's vintage, click OK. So I can't wait to see what kind of creative work you make with the Adobe Camera Raw profile presets.
Yes!
Hey, what are you still doing here? It's over. Actually, all kidding aside, I hope this video helped. And if it did, consider subscribing. I like subscribers.
That's awesome! What? You just took one in the jugular, man! Whoa! Yes! Oh my god, I did! This is...
Hey, you stayed to the end. You know what that means? You're awesome. I'm talking about you. Now get out of here.